Hello and welcome to the latest episode in our series of Antser Subject Matter Expert Talks. In each episode, our subject matter experts come together to discuss key topics and issues currently facing the sectors we work in, from children's and adult services to education and health. Our expertise spans 30 years, and we combine best practice with innovation and new emerging technologies to lead the way in doing things better, in partnership with local authorities and independent providers.
Hello everyone and welcome to our Antser Talks podcast. Our focus today is on raising awareness about fostering. My name is Abby Cooke and I am the VR service manager here at Antser. Today I'm joined by Nicola Tunbridge and Dr Mica Douglas from Flourish Fostering. Can I welcome you both to say hello and to introduce yourselves and your roles at Flourish?
Hello everybody, my name's Mica Douglas. I'm Managing Director at Flourish. I'm also a psychotherapist.
Hello everyone, my name's Nicola Tunbridge and I'm on the board of directors at Flourish Fostering, and I've got a particular interest in training.
Thank you, and thank you so much for joining us today. We're looking forward to hearing about the brilliant work being done at Flourish and how we can best support our children and young people who need foster families to help them recover from adverse childhood experiences. So we've got a few questions that we want to ask yourselves today, and we thought it'd be really good if we could just start off by you talking a bit about what is fostering.
Okay, so generally, looking after children who can't be with their families is fostering. And there are different types of fostering, and what Flourish specialises in is therapeutic fostering. And what that means is that we put an emphasis on developing the foster parents who are looking after children in order to help them be able to think a bit more therapeutically. And what that means is being able to look behind the behaviour so that they're not just taking at face value things that distressed children do. They're not seeing it as bad behaviour. They're understanding that actually there might be trauma, there might be attachment difficulties, and we train them to understand what's going on in the internal world of the child.
And how does that work? So you offer training to the foster parents to deepen that understanding?
Yeah.
How does that work? So I know you've been using the VR program alongside some of your training.
Well, Mica and I have been training foster parents for getting on for about 25 years now, and we like to have a really full program which is overseen and run by Mica and has a lot of therapeutic content matter in it. But we also have training from the basic introductory training to prepare newcomers to fostering, but also more advanced academic level training and everything in between. When Mica and I heard about the VR program that had been developed by Antser, we were very keen to find out more about that, because we felt that this could bring another dimension to our training. And Mica can tell you a bit about how she's used it kind of across that spectrum.
Yeah, so if I just talk about entry level training, so the training for people who are new to fostering, they're just coming for an introduction to see what it's all about really. And we've been using the VR headsets with those new applicants to fostering, and what it does is evoke empathy and insight, because instantly looking at the films on the headsets, they can see the perspective of the child and instantly feel differently about the role that they're going to take on. And it also offers them some protection against being overwhelmed, because it gives them an idea of the kind of backgrounds the children have come from, what how that little family culture might be coming into their household, how they might be able to manage it. So what it does is, watching the films actually provokes a lot of discussion as well, and helps them ask questions that they wouldn't even know to ask if they hadn't seen the films on the VR headsets.
Do you think it's allowed a space for them to maybe they came to fostering and maybe not fully understanding what it would mean for a child or young person, or understanding their experiences coming into a foster family, and maybe has shifted their approach to what fostering really is?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, nobody is prepared for fostering really, because the extensive assessment that families go through in order to foster is all about parenting skills and their potential for parenting skills. But most of those people have never looked after a child who may be traumatized, who've had lots of adverse childhood experiences. So it's very different from parenting your own child. So what the VR films help to demonstrate is the kind of backgrounds that the children they'll be looking after have come from. You know, some of the experiences that they've been through, some of the trauma, some of the attachment difficulties, how that might lead to a few behavioural difficulties in school. And the whole suite of films actually helps people get a different perspective on that and be able to think, oh yeah, I could manage that because I can understand where that behaviour is coming from. And the training and also the support that they get from social workers and consultations with the psychotherapists, it all helps them understand the child better and be able to feel more competent and empowered as foster parents.
I think one of the critical things that Mica has said there is about training foster parents in developing their parenting skills. And I think the thing about fostering is that foster children tend to have missed out on so many of their developmental stages, maybe from infancy and being toddlers, that actually the way they present themselves is different to what you would expect from normal childhood milestones. And therefore, sometimes what we're asking our foster parents to do is to turn their parenting instincts on their heads and parent children in a different way. So they may well be parenting a 10 or 12-year-old who's missed out on critical developmental milestones in their early years. And that has to be factored into their care of the child so that the child doesn't miss out that stage, albeit at a later stage in their lives. And I think what the VR films have done for us in Flourish is that we've given foster parents and applicant foster parents that insight into what's it actually like, what's these children's lived experiences, what have they actually been like to be in a chaotic household or to be in a household where domestic violence and substance abuse is present. And these films are very, very short, but they have such a profound impact. And the way I see them is that it gets across quite an advanced subject matter in such a visceral way that actually you take on board the learning in just a couple of minutes that ordinarily, I mean, Mica and I would have trained whole modules in childhood trauma. We still do that in Flourish, but what the VR films allow us to do is to give that insight so that foster parents have got that empathy from day one, and they're not waiting for a big training course to come up, that they've got they have access to that subject matter in the early stages.